what I'm saying.
Because I'm so surprised
she doesn't even have time on her hands at this.
So the next story that left a lackluster experience for me on Saturday.
Yeah, for Tega too.
I know. So Anthony Joshua vowed to spark out the last remaining world champion Deontay Wilder after defeating Joseph Parker on points in their unification clash. He said, "I take these chances. You know the old saying, no risk, no reward. We'll see what happens late 2018. Wilder or Fury, either one. What would I have to do to beat?"
Because there's a story that Parker has a strong jaw. He doesn't hit the canvas easily. You need to make a statement with him so that the rest of the opponents start really fearing. You have to put that fear factor at first. Don't be the Klitschko brothers, the guy that manage fights and win on points. Be the guy that people are afraid of. Deontay Wilder doesn't have time for all this finesse and Deontay Wilder will get into the ring, lose his cool, and knock you into the next generation. That's what he does. So you want to make a statement with Parker, and I expected him to do that. But all that, I mean, fight management, trying to show people that, trying to let people enjoy their money. I don't have time for that. I don't. And even watching him fight, it was amazing. Let me put it this way: he did manage to fight for most of it. I think there were 2 rounds there. I think it was round 6 and 7 where I thought Parker could have got more points than he did, but ultimately he eventually won. But when I was watching Anthony, I wasn't watching him for Parker fight because I thought this one is in the bag. I was watching him for Tyson Fury and Wilder. If Tyson Fury ever comes back, and he wasn't moving his feet well. And I'm not saying you should move like Muhammad Ali. I'm not asking you too much, or Joe Fraser. Just move your feet a little bit. His movements weren't cool. And you get into a ring with someone like Deontay Wilder that has pace, or you get into a ring with someone like Fury that likes to bounce around.
You might be destabilized.
You will be destabilized. Not might, you will.
A very interesting thing that you mentioned, Tega, when you're saying that this should have been a statement-making fight as well, is because part of his concern, isn't it, is that he's a cash cow now for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And because people are not afraid, they feel like they really do have a shot.
Yeah,
so
put the fear factor. Because what Deontay Wilder could get from this fight, or Tyson Fury could get from this fight, is that, okay, we know what he's going to do. We know how to get him. Do you understand? So you don't need to do that. You have to make a statement. Look, as the guy entered the ring, after the finishing it off, once the referee just steps aside, knock him out before the referee even had time to be dancing in. I mean, the referee spoiled the fight. There were often times that they were going at each other, and the referee was quick to step in. I was like, this is a very new school referee.
They seem to be getting defensive at some point.
It was, I wasn't impressed at all. So he won, yes, and 21 fights, 21 wins, 20 knockouts. This is his one without a knockout, technical or otherwise. But yeah, it was disappointing to me.
All right. Sorry about that. But let's keep it moving. Up next, American John Isner won his first ever Masters 1000 title with a 6-7, 4-7, 6-4, 6-4 victory over the German Alexander Zverev in the Miami Open final. Now, in a nervous opening, the first set went with a serve before world number 5 Zverev edged the tiebreak. However, the 32-year-old Isner broke Zverev in the following sets and then held his serve throughout the match. When he spoke, he said, "I couldn't have scripted this. I came into this tournament. I have won one ATP World Tour match all year and was playing very poorly. I won my first match in 3 sets, and that's how tennis goes. You start to gain a little confidence, and next thing you know, things start to roll your way."
Yeah, and then you start winning, and all of a sudden you become a philosopher. Yeah, I know he's educated.
Let's be excited.
Let me tell you.
Let's be excited.
Look, I love John Isner. He was one of the people. He went to college. He said that's why his career started late. He went to college, graduated before he became full professional. So it took him time, and I was really impressed with the way he served, especially throughout the tournament, and it was what got him through. Because the first round, they broke each other's serves early on, then both of them settled, and it was a question of big serves and who would stare down first. So when he got to the tiebreaker, I think Zverev's got looks into Isner's serves, and that was how he was able to win that. But the second and the third set, it was the way Isner turned his game around back to how he played in the semifinals, where he gave you nothing. And Zverev still had Isner getting looks into his serves, and that's how he was broken. So congratulations to Isner. He won his first 1000 Masters title. It was the biggest title of his life, which is why he was so gracious and graceful in the way he was praising Zverev. Zverev already has 2 Masters titles, so I know he was sad. It showed when they were taking pictures, and as soon as they told him you were done taking pictures, he just stomped away with his little trophy. but congratulations to Isner. Amazing one. He now goes back into top 10 when the rankings are released today. Also, I was going to also for the women, amazing comeback by Sloane Stephens to take out Ostapenko, because at some point in time it looked like I was seeing the Ostapenko that won the French Open, but Sloane Stephens just stuck in, dug her feet in, and of course with the help of her coach, she was able to turn the match around and win her 1000 Masters title. So it was like the Americans did a clean sweep. So with the men's single, the women's singles, and the men's doubles, the Bryan brothers won that.
The Bryan brothers.
Yeah, they had a cheeky statement to make. They're like, when we became pro, you guys were in diapers. So experience beat you. But maybe next time you'll beat us. So it was amazing that the Americans came out and on their ground they took everything. But I'd like to see how this reflects on the rest of the Grand Slam and the One Master Series for the rest of the calendar year. Yeah.
We have this message in on Twitter from Ogbeni Femi. He says, Chelsea fans should not worry. Yesterday's game was April Fool. The real game is today. Hashtag locker room 91.
Oh,
and then we have another one that seems to be coming in. By the way, you can send your message to WhatsApp 0809 444 981. Gotu Lunaru says, congrats to Anthony Joshua. I can only imagine him receiving $20 million in just one fight. No one should separate even... No one, number one, should separate, even if it's a lion
that he's
fighting with. Just Kukma, leave me to fight to the end. I see. Okay. All right. It's worth it. The money is worth it.
Excellent stuff. Okay, we're going to take a moment to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more locker room with Tega, Valentine, Folu, and myself.
Because that was still on cue.
The cue was still on.
To take off. Yeah.
This cue thing kills me. Okay. Now wait.
So cancel out the
Okay, I think I'm getting that. So am I going to go back on cue when we're going back?
No, of course not.
Okay.
There's no reason for that. That was just
I don't know why I'm
previous
looking at
message, so we should have stopped the cue.
I don't even know your pen is.
This here, Richard. So Lagos
Alright.
folks are doing the first story, amnesty. The amnesty.
Oh, that will get people riled up. All right. So wait. When this ends,
In like a minute and a bit.
then we go right back.
Yeah.
Okay, now after Jessica. Are we trying
Yeah,
to
after Jessica.
It's not a song. That's a liner.
What
The other
music
things are
do you-
liners.
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So then mics go back up.
Again, yeah, with 10
and then-
seconds too, but you have to actually say mics up so that people know you're putting up the mics. Because sometimes we're chatting.
Right.
Yeah. So just say studio, whatever you say, so that before you put up the mic.
Okay.
Otherwise, somebody will speak into the
And
mic.
then say,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then all that's going up is my stacks, and I
Yes,
play my
and,
bed
and your
again.
stacks should, your bed stays
Okay,
here.
the bed is still
It's already
playing as we
running.
speak.
Yes,
Remember
Okay.
to mention
on YouTube. Yeah.
Right.
So remember, this is the best volume for your bed.
Yeah, because it was too high when we started.
So that's why you just pull it down all the way to back here. That's usually where the bed stays.
You're taking that next story, Abby, to take us back in.
I think you can.
No, you take it. We'll go back to
Yeah.
circle. Oh no, you just did Sloane Stephens.
No. I just
so that
did
she
close
cancelled
this
it.
at once.
Oh,
With
right.
the- yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you bring us back with this. Are we getting WhatsApp messages? I'm not sure we're connected because of the Wi-Fi
not here.
issue. Because of the Wi-Fi issue, the WhatsApp messages are not coming through because this is not connected to Wi-Fi, so nothing has come in today. You can hotspot your phone down if you want to be nice and connected to
Abby, let's chop that data. What's up? Valentine, what's up?
It's just for messages, so
Okay.
it won't consume your data like that.
All right.
Yeah, so right after that, so let us know when we need to be silent, because obviously I'm still talking.
music to me is therapy. Music heals my soul.
Okay, let's just go in studio.
Heals all of me.
All right. Lagos, we're back with the locker room on Smooth 98.1. Remember, keep following us on the Smooth FM Twitter handle at Smooth91FM and use hashtag locker room 981. We're back with Tega, Folu, and Valentine. Tega, still on tennis. Former world number one split with head coach Andre Agassi. That's my guy, Novak Djokovic. Andre Agassi says he and Novak Djokovic have, quote, agreed to disagree too often, and he has left the former world number one's coaching team. Says, quote, this is Agassi, I wish him only the best moving forward. With only the best intentions, I tried to help Novak. We far too often found ourselves agreeing to disagree. Take out your thoughts. This hurts me, by the way. But yeah, go ahead.
I had said it from the minute that they came together. Two hot heads and two people that know a lot. I don't want to say they are both eye to nose, but they tend to know what they know and they tend to stick with it. And I said it was never going to work with the both of them. And so I think, and ultimately, again, I also think Andre Agassi is the way he fought back into tennis to win is totally different from the way that I think that Novak Djokovic would fight back. Andre Agassi wasn't fighting the physical as much as he was fighting the mental and the psychological. Djokovic is fighting the physical, so it is injuries and a lot, as opposed to Andre Agassi that had a depression problem and then a drug problem. It's two totally different fights. So the way you tell me to approach it, so if my body is not responding to what my mind wants to do, I'm going to have to change certain things. And Djokovic is going to have to change the way he serves. He's going to have to change the way he hits his forehands because of the surgery and the struggle with his elbow. And so those issues, I don't think are things that Andre Agassi can help him with. So the fight, when he brought on Boris Becker, it was a question of Djokovic did not have, there was something, there was a mental block that made him to be struggling in finals. So Boris Becker was helping him with that mental. And people like that of that generation, they knew what they were doing. But now that he's struggling with the physical, I don't think Andre Agassi is the coach. So yes, this split for me was very expected. I was waiting for it from the very day they hooked up with each other. So I wish both of them the best. It doesn't make Andre Agassi a bad coach. It doesn't make Djokovic a bad coach. It was just the wrong mix. And so I hope Djokovic finds someone that can work with him and him get back into great form.
So we have this message.
Times all around. Just before the messages, do remember that we are streaming live on YouTube. Remember to follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It means that every time we go live, there'll be a quick notification, and then you know when we're doing that. YouTube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And the messages.
So Joe sent this one in from WhatsApp. It says, on Joko and Agassi, we said this thing before. Two angry men on different decades. Not surprised. And she continues, I stopped by to buy fuel. Have you guys spoken about Chelsea and Tottenham yet? Guess what happened to Chelsea? I said, Liverpool fan was counting on Chelsea. So we have the story next. Antonio Conte chose not to repeat his frustrations over Chelsea's transfer policy after the damaging 3-1 Premier League home defeat to Tottenham. In his words, I think that now is not the right moment to tell you. I said this before. Now the moment is to try to continue to work with great professionalism. We're doing this and we have to try until the end to do our best. But I think if we're in this position, we're deserving of this position. We have to try to until the end to catch Champions League place. In this case, there's Tottenham and Liverpool, so we'll try until the end to get 3 points in every game. We'll see what happens.
I don't think that's. I mean, I looked at this game. I think on Friday, and I said that Chelsea had the edge, but at best I was expecting a draw. I didn't expect a 3-1 defeat, especially with Harry Kane out. But it's obviously not a problem of quality of players. He can't blame this transfer policy. He had players on the pitch to make the difference. Eden Hazard was primarily inconsequential in the game. Willian wasn't his usual self that could make things happen. I think the people that brought the most threat also brought the most danger, which is Morata and Moses. So Moses creates a goal on one end and then concedes a goal on the other end to a Tottenham Hotspur that was pretty much uncoordinated, especially in the first half. So even an uncoordinated Tottenham got a goal, managed to get themselves back into the game in the first half, and that's where the problem was. They were playing poorly, but they were at par with you at halftime. And so I think we're always going to turn around the second half. And as soon as that switch was made, Chelsea did not readjust. And I think it's a question of the players and the coach not aligning to the same strategy on and off the pitch. What's going to happen here is that, for me, Conte is already out. But because Abramovich doesn't want to put a quick fix or a stopgap coach, maybe that's why he's delaying to do the needful. At the end of the day, what Chelsea just has to manage to do is not lose any more points, because what it is I don't see them going to UEFA Champions League, because Tottenham have on that fourth spot, and I think they're fighting tooth and nail to stay there. They're natural chokers, so they may choke. They may choke. But what they're doing is that at least let's go to Champions League. If nothing else, let's just get to Champions League. So it's going to be a tough one. Antonio Conte can't blame the board. He has to blame himself ultimately.
Tega, what do you see for Tottenham going forward? It looks like they have a promising team, but there's been talk about whether or not they can keep Harry Kane in the summer, if they can keep Dele Alli. Do you think the team can stay together
I think Harry Kane and Dele Alli would like to stay at Tottenham and win something to prove that that they could win on a team like Tottenham. I think they can do that, and the FA Cup is still an opportunity for them to win. But what it is that Daniel, if good money comes, Daniel Levy is selling. Like if somebody brings Gareth Bale money or above, Harry Kane is going, whether he likes it or not.
Okay,
all right. I got a couple of messages very quickly to read out up from Twitter. Godswill Umaru, that's ZZ Classic, says, it is so amazing to see injured Messi doing wonderful things on the pitch. Speaking of Saturday's game. We'll come back to that in just a bit, though. But up next, in terms of the stories, Real Madrid star Gareth Bale is no certainty to face Juventus in the Champions League quarterfinals, despite his 2-goal haul on Saturday. This is according to Zizou. He says, I'm happy for him. That's all. That's what Zidane said in his post-match news conference. We'll move on. You'll see on Tuesday. I'm happy with his performance. That is all. I don't know about Nacho. We'll wait for tomorrow's test. He's not happy, not comfortable. He came off for a precaution. It is behind his knee, the hamstring, I think. I hope it's not much.
Yeah, I saw that when Nacho came off the pitch and he just started crying. Nobody wants to miss a big game, and you have a big game on Tuesday against Juventus. You don't want to miss that. You want to be part of whatever comes at the end of the day. Hopefully it's a victory. And so he was crying because it looked like he had done some real damage. But we'll wait and see what the scan says today. Ultimately, Zinedine Zidane is not giving anybody anything. We know that Cristiano Ronaldo is coming back. So it's a question of whether the BBC is going to play together or is going to try something new. Modric and Casemiro, he took off to rest a bit. So you can tell that he's prioritizing Juventus, and especially the way it is, at least let's get the trophy, the UEFA Champions League trophy, even if we've missed out on La Liga and Copa del Rey. But they face a Juventus side that has found a way to turn things around, and over 2 legs have a better chance than they did over that final that they played that was largely one-sided. So I think Zizou and his team are primed up for it, and they're going to Italy. In as much as Tottenham went there and got a 2-2 draw, it's still a tough place to go and get a result. So Zinedine Zidane is not promising anything. He's just going to, on the day, make the best choices. So even if you scored a hat-trick on Saturday against Las Palmas, no guarantees that you're going to start against Juventus. Let's see how it turns out. It's going to be a really wonderful one to see the Juventus attack versus the Real Madrid attack. I don't want to say that because both of them concede goals. Over the weekend, Juventus still conceded against a Gattuso AC Milan. That even Arsenal did not concede against.
And of course, Zidane had no comments about Isco's comments that we talked about last week.
He did say that he was not going anywhere, that he was going to stay at Real Madrid. So I don't know if that's a PR statement.
Right. All right, we're still in La Liga, Barcelona side of things now. Ernesto Valverde, is it Valverde or Valverde? Valverde. Okay, Ernesto Valverde hails Barcelona's battling spirit after the Sevilla draw. Barcelona coach Ernesto Valverde praised his side for not losing faith after Lionel Messi came off the bench to net a last-minute equalizer as the La Liga leaders fought back to draw 2-2 at Sevilla. Quote, "We took a chance. Things were not going that well for us," Valverde said in an interview on the club's official website. In the first half, despite them creating chances, we also had some as well. It was fairly even, but they went into the break with an advantage and then scored a second just after halftime. However, if you have faith, you can keep playing. We're looking for the goal to get us back in the game. We did, and then we got the second. If there had been 5 more minutes, I don't know what would have happened. Tega, what would have happened if there was 5 more minutes?
I think they would have won, but I think it's ridiculous that he says that it was his team spirit. There was no team spirit there. It was Lionel Messi.
It was Messi.
Yeah, the minute he got on the pitch, everybody's brain just aligned.
Right.
and so he was able to, like Suarez said at the end of the game, Messi doesn't even have to play well. His presence on the pitch is enough to make us want to play well. And that's what happened. As soon as the Messi came on, there seemed to be more of a structure and a strategy. I will blame Sevilla though. They did have many chances. They cut open that Barcelona defense one too many times to not have gone up 4 or 5 goals before Messi came on. But they only were able to score 2 goals. And then Messi comes on and suddenly Barcelona just becomes a superhero. Everybody had capes and wings and they were flying all over the place. I think for that second goal, you could tell the difference between Messi and other players, because that ball was passed from Coutinho to Denis Suarez. And Denis Suarez was there selecting leg when Messi just came from behind him and scored the goal.
Right.
One short. So you look at that and you start to tell where the hunger and the drive for Barcelona is coming on. So Ernesto Valverds shouldn't be praising his team spirit.
Should be
He should be bowing at the feet of Messi because Messi rescued them. What it means is that they haven't even started to prepare for life after Messi because they've made all these fantastic buys. Dembele won 15 million, Coutinho won 50 million, and you still have to depend on a one-legged Messi
Imagine.
to come off the bench.
Wow.
Just before we take this quick break, I've got this message that's coming from Wise Man Jesus up on Twitter. He says, Barcelona without Messi is like radio without Smooth 98.
Why, Wise man?
So even the
Excellent
real
stuff.
Kufri here says,
Yeah.
I called a Chelsea fan to wish him happy Easter, but he did not pick up. Honestly, I just want to say happy Easter.
On that note, guys, I think we need to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be for the final few minutes of sports right here inside the locker room. So keep listening to Smooth 98.1.
I'm so glad we're almost on time. Where the stories?
Here.
Okay.
It's finished.
No, it's not. I can categorically tell you that it's not finished.
It's finished.
Eh?
It's finished.
It's a lie.
How many more messages do we have?
We'll come back.
We have
to
a
take
message from
messages.
Twitter. What about Twitter? We have a
Yeah.
message to
Okay,
Conte.
if we do have time, we can talk about the Aubameyang penalty,
Okay.
the one that he gave to Lacazette instead
So
of
you
going for a hat
just
trick.
talk about it once
Yeah.
after he brings
So
us in.
did you watch the match?
I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, so you just mentioned Alashira was saying that as a penalty taker and as a goal scorer, you shouldn't be giving.
Penalties to other people.
Yeah. So
But also
just-
a question of confidence for Lacazette.
so just exactly come. So that just ask any questions based on that angle, if we have time.
Mazino is around. You were just looking at you at the desk going,
Okay, I saw his shadow.
yeah, I was like,
my
let's just focus on like, what is the time? I was like, don't worry.
So how many minutes? This is what we had like two. When we get back in.
I'll show you.
No. I'm talking about from here to the end of the program.
It just feels like 2 minutes because we come in at 43, I think.
Okay.
And we end at 45.
So what am I playing? I take the stacks up and then.
Yeah, that's it. You're not playing anything.
Okay.
Stacks are already playing you back. Just pull it up and pull it down. And when we're done, you stop the stacks.
So we do that. Let's. So any question on that angle? Or if we have a lot of, do we have a lot of messages?
Yeah. Got it.
What about Zlatan's
Okay,
goal for
so,
MLS? What about Zlatan's goal for MLS? What about that?
Yeah, we could have talked about that. Well, that's what I said.
No, I mean, there's more time. No, we can do Arsenal. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Okay, I'll do the WhatsApp message.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do messages.
Just do messages. Okay, so no more.
Yeah. Let's just so that since people were able to even
finally get them in.
send it in on a holiday.
Yes.
Let's just give them.
I think so, please. Let's encourage them.
Let's read out their messages here.
Exactly.
So we're not doing a Boomerang
No,
and
no.
we're just going to. Okay.
Messages.
Car or own your own home or even get more degrees at age of career. You're definitely going to need money.
Well, how did the Stoke game go? So I think
Oh, the one.
They won.
3-0. So Aubameyang scored the first penalty, which outside the box I'm not sure it would have been given considering the way it was called. But it was a penalty. Then the second, then he scored the second goal, and then they got a second penalty, and he now gave it to Lacazette instead of going for his hat trick.
This allows you to meet your goals.
So Alashira is saying, me that I'm a striker, I will score hat trick.
Yeah, why am I handing over?
I will never. If he needs confidence, he should score his own goal.
Maybe they were using it to settle beef from the locker room or something. Because I'm just like, why would that have
All
happened?
right, the ID is only 6 seconds, so we gotta go.
Okay, studio.
All right.
Invest with Payday Investor. Powered by the ARM Money Market Fund.
All right. We're back in the locker room on Smooth 98.1 with Tega, Folu, and Valentine. Streaming live on YouTube. Also, you guys are sending us your messages at hashtag lockerroom981 on Twitter. We got some messages?
Yes, we got WhatsApp messages. So Bubemi sent in quite a few messages in from Parkview. First of all, about Blessing Okagbare saying, Blessing is just a graceful runner. She's not only 2 but also 3 much because she just goes with the wind. Florence Griffith Joyner's world record of 10.49 seconds, however, is unrealistic because nobody has come within 0.2 seconds of that velocity, and even some men can't race that fast. Says Bubemi.
You know that men run sub 9 or sub 10, sorry.
So,
Men run sub
That's
10.
true. They do. Think about that. Big E from K2 says Arsenal match on Sunday wasn't April Fool, but they showed that they were able to resurrect on the 3rd day with the help of. He says And Tega, I told you I saw AJ beating someone in my dream. Well, we are now in reality. Tell AJ we are sharing the 20 million pounds.
Hey.
Go there and tell him yourself with your mouth.
That's a lot of money for that.
And when you come
performance,
back, I will back you up. If you come back, I'll back you up.
On Twitter, Zizi Classic says, it's so amazing seeing injured Messi doing wonderful things on the pitch. Speaking of Saturday's game, and Obemi Femi says, Chelsea lost the game to Spurs. That must be why Oshodi had been so peaceful. And Chidozier says, when Conte said he did not want to have a repeat of Mourinho's season, I knew he was asking for trouble. He should have done his job silently. Now he's having a worse season than the loquacious Jose. Wow.
Still more messages coming in over on that hashtag locker room 981. Ibrahim Heather says, forget my people, Messi is now a goal app. Launch it and you score anytime. Ultimately Victor says, I will surely put the blame on Sevilla. How on earth will you lose a 2-goal advantage in 5 minutes? While for Messi, he's just something else.
The man himself.
And Nathan Njoku says, our win over Crystal Palace was very scrappy and hard-fought victory, but I will take that any time over playing brilliantly and still losing. Egyptians now want Mo Salah for president. And Chimabi Victor comes back to say Tottenham Hotspurs have been doing fantastically well this season. They always know how to step up whenever they play against this mouth-watering Chelsea side. And on that note, I think that's all the messages that we have and all
Yes,
we've
indeed.
got time for this morning.
Yes, indeed. Tega, thank you so much for joining us as usual. Thank you guys for your messages, Valentine and Folu. I like having you guys here. Lagos, keep it locked.
Please be on YouTube to look at Rotus.
Yes. I might be sweating. Who knows? Lagos, we'll catch you in a bit.